Couple more team points, 3 more in that last bout. As they are rolling so far in this duel and having a nice rebound day, making the flight back to California probably a little bit more enjoyable for everyone on the team.
They must be getting some important messages. The coaching staff has their cell phones out right now. There is a break in the action.
There is, yes. Hey, you know what? They've got to text and call home too. You know,
Yeah,
honey,
absolutely.
Get the dinner ready. I'll be home soon.
And, you know, they're going to pick up a few hours on the way back, so they'll be home for dinner.
Oh, that is nice.
They might even see the night game for the NFL.
That's right. Welcome West Coast viewers. It's only 9 a.m. out there out west, huh?
And you get a good view of Enoch's pants here.
Yeah, Coach Enoch from Stanford, rocking those blues.
He actually has his Ph.D., so he's Dr. Enoch.
A doctor. I think you might have to be a doctor to be rocking pants like that.
It's unbelievable.
It is. They're kind of like scrubs almost. It's like classy scrubs. Got a quick look at that in the background.
It'll be interesting to see how Brevin takes on a higher weight class here, but he's fully capable, really talented young man here.
To
Yeah, Cassella.
the 174 class, Tyler Eischens of Stanford against Brevin Casella from Binghamton.
As I was saying, Cassella, another one of the Bearcats who was in action at the Bearcat Open last weekend and had himself a day, and he's in on a double right away. So up at 174 pounds, shoots a double right off the whistle and able to pick up the 2-point takedown.
And the thing is, Tyler is a very good wrestler. He's ranked 30th on Intermat right now. He was an automatic qualifier at the 2020 NCAA tournament. And he's also a junior Greco World Team member.
So again, we're at 174 pounds. Unfortunately for Stanford, they had to forfeit at 165. Shane Griffiths got banged up a little bit last night in his marquee matchup with Ramirez. Suffered what looked like to be a bit of an injury in the first period and had to try to battle through that. As we mentioned, he picked up his second collegiate loss last night. So hopefully he's doing well and on the road to recovery.
And you saw Julian Ramirez in action earlier this year, at the Bearcat Open, and he's a great wrestler. I mean, there's no two ways about it. And when you're wrestling the #1 guy in the country, it's always a good time.
Yeah, and talking to the Cardinal coaching staff, obviously disappointed with the loss, but they feel like Shane Griffith needs to just get in those kind of situations where he's got to find ways to score points. And last night he was down, and unfortunately for him, wasn't able to find that tying takedown and picked up the loss. As we're in a scramble here, and Nolan just leached onto the leg. If he can just keep that leg extended.
Not much changed there, but,
It's a settling position. I think what the referee's looking for there is basically, can he pass the leg? If he's locked lower below the knee nor the shin, like ankle area, you can still pass there. But it reached the point where, Eischens he hooked the foot, and then he was able to kind of wiggle around and get his knee on the mat. So even though it didn't look like much change there, I can see why the 2 was called. It looked like Nolan kind of got past the point of where he could actually leg pass in that situation. Nolan looked a little jumpy before that whistle even blew, and he did have a false start. Apologize, I've been saying Nolan. It's Cassella.
And it's really cool when a guy, decides to go up in a match, right? Because there's definitely going to be some dialogue with the coaches and the student athlete. And, you can definitely see that Eishens is bigger, but Casella's a great wrestler, had a good Bearcat Open, and he's ready for this challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I was impressed with that double leg right off the whistle. I mean,
absolutely.
Just coming in and being able to finish like that. It's a good start for the match, but it's Eischens right now who has the 1-point lead. But Cassella doing a good job from the bottom position. Coach wants him to swim, and he does.
Beautiful.
See if he can step over. Still no change. Eischens still technically in control. And there's the 2 as Eischens grabs his knee.
And this is a tough spot to be in because now choice goes to Cassella.
With 6 seconds in the period,
exactly.
Too. That's big.
So it's a tough choice, you know. Casella actually, you know, we were talking about the Bearcat Open. He won it last weekend. And in the finals, he actually beat Matt Lee from Penn State, who's quality student athlete there.
Yeah, they've been, the word is that he's in the mix a little bit for a starting spot for Penn State, possibly. And here's the replay of that. Nice little scramble by Cassella, able to gather the foot as he comes along. He does a nice job of keeping his foot and keeping that his head where it should be, right on the inside of that knee, fortunately for Eischens.
So if he does choose down here, he needs a quick burst. It looks like he's going to remain in the top position. Yeah, he's going to take top.
So it looks like he wants to ride out and pick up 6 seconds of riding time. And maybe that's it's
good
kind
strategy.
of a product of giving up some weight. You know, he's giving up 9 pounds. Maybe you don't want to go underneath the guy. So he's going to bring that riding time advantage down a little bit more, and that's the end of the period. So
action-packed first period for sure.
Yeah, Eischens will have a 52-second riding time advantage. So a deferred choice. Eischens is going to get set in the bottom position, trailing by 1. Cassella right off the whistle with that long claw, and he's got a long body, and usually those guys like those claws. We'll see if he can get some backs.
It's a good position for him here, but he needs to get his hips up, and he does. It's where you can grab your own foot.
Yeah, Eischens underneath the leg, though. He's in good position, able to wrestle around and pick up the reversal.
And this is where Kyle Borshoff wants him to keep that pace, you know, and when the pace was high, he was hitting his attacks, he was getting out. Kyle wants to see him get back to that position.
Yeah, and when you're giving up 9 pounds, you don't want to spend too much time on the bottom, but here's Eischens again with that figure 4. Now it's pretty low on the leg, so Cassella should be able to limp his leg out of there and try to get his knee down to the mat. Of course, it's easy for me to say.
Yeah, I don't want to be down there. But again, Stanford looking strong in the top position throughout their lineup and just controlling. And, you know, this takes something out of a guy, too.
Oh, absolutely, because he's got to try to work up. He's got to constantly try to do that. And if he does it, the referee's going to hit him for stalling. So I'm sure right now the referee's taking a good hard look at this position. And he's going to go stalemate here.
Which was the right call in that situation.
Yeah, neither guy doing a whole lot. Sometimes you'll see that called more when a guy's double legs in rather than just a single figure 4. But either way, it's hard to hit either guy for stalling when the top guy isn't doing much, and either is the bottom. And there's our second caution, I believe. Cassella trying to plead his case.
I like it.
Yeah. Unsuccessfully, but. Cassella tries to come up to the quad pod position, but Eischens just doing a nice job. Again, like you mentioned earlier tonight, or this morning, keeping the weight to the hands.
Yeah.
Cassella again battling up. Cassella's got the whizzer right at this point. See if he can use that to try to work himself out. Not anymore, though, as Eischens is able to sneak in the leg on the far side.
And you knew you were going to see that with the Stanford wrestlers. Really smart, calculated. You know, when they're riding on top, they're doing just enough. They're looking good. They are looking for points, but you know they're also racking up riding time.
We're starting to see, you know, the weights. You mentioned Vincenzo Joseph, a Penn State product, multiple-time national champion, just a highly credentialed guy from Penn State, in the room wrestling with these guys every single day. It's going to do nothing but make these guys better.
And his title is actually the anonymous assistant coach because Stanford's coaching positions are now endowed, and so he is the anonymous assistant coach.
I guess I shouldn't have mentioned his name then. I apologize.
Yeah. Please don't do it again.
So it's a 5-4 match right now as Eischens has a 1-point lead, but also has the riding time advantage by over 2 minutes. So essentially it's a 6-4 lead.
And this is where Brevin can open it up. You know, he's down one. He's down with the riding time, but he gets a good strong leg attack in here. He's in the driver's seat.
And Cassella has shown that he can take him down. I mean, we saw that the first 20 seconds of the match. We'll see if he can fire off another one, but it's Eischens who's in on the leg, able to get behind a standing control. If the hand hits, that's 2. Yep, so that's a hand touch takedown. So when you establish that rear standing control, it doesn't matter what. If you touch that hand to the mat, it's a hand touch takedown. Even the back of the hand. So really the only way you can get out of that position in a standing, when they have the standing control from neutral, the only way, if you're the defender, that you can get out is to go no-handed Granby, just straight to the back of the head. And I've seen it happen and go well, and I've seen it happen where it doesn't go so well.
Yeah, I mean, you're taking a risk for sure. But in that position, you know, with the match being that tight, it's worth it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, these guys are such amazing athletes, too. I mean, I've seen heavyweights hit that move at the NCAA level, and it works out for them. But, yeah, that's what you got to go no-handed Granby, and that's the only way you can get out of that. And even some guys that try to do that, their back of their hand accidentally touches the mat. Well, in video review, that's 2 points. So
absolutely.
That's by rule what a hand touch takedown is. Once you establish that rear control, all you have to do is get a hand on the mat.
And this is a situation where, like, sometimes you don't even know, but there is a leg Turk there, or bent leg Turk, I should say. It's just kind of sitting right there. You just reach back and go for it. And in high school, we don't see that too often, or it's not allowed. But in college, you can torque on that pretty good.
Yeah, there was a guy by the name of Zane Rutherford that I watched break a few backs, I think, with that move.
Did they let him do that in high school in PA?
No, you can't bow the back.
Okay.
It's illegal by application. So if you just touch it, they want you to stop it.
Nice.
So picks up the reversal. Unfortunately for Casella, it's going to be a little bit inconsequential. But again, another nice battle by one of the Bearcat wrestlers here. So with the riding time point for Eischens, it's going to make it 8-6 regular decision. So Stanford increases their lead to 20.